Mim and Sam sat close to the fires, just thinking about what Maya and Kate told them. I get the feeling that where all of you come from is a much harder life, Mim said. Even if you're living in those cities, it's still a world that is no longer your own, but was taken from you. His brows were furrowed from the thought. Sam looked at Mim. That'll happen to Forest City, and who knows how many other heavily populated areas if we can't solve this mystery. Mim nodded. But with the new development, I wonder if the request is much larger than what any of us suspected. Maya looked at Mim. She was curious what the cat person meant. Next to him, Mim grabbed a twig. He began drawing in the dirt. The three of them watched to see what Mim was doing with the twig. As Mim was drawing, it soon became clear what was being represented. This is the forest, Mim said as he looked at each of them. He picked up a small rock and placed it in front of the forest. This is Forest City. Seeing the drawing, Maya was reminded how large the forest was. What made it even worse was how they had barely entered the massive area. On top of that, they were already encountering problems. Her eyes traveled to look at where James was resting due to carrying the large forest cat back to the camp from where he had fought it. All of you understand how far we've managed to enter this area, Mim said. Barely scratching the surface, Sam said. Using the twig in his hand, Mim pointed into the ground inside the area designated the forest. It was not very deep. This is the furthest we've traveled. Kate hissed as she sucked in the air. It only highlighted how little progress they made in the journey. Honestly, we're not doing that bad, Sam said. Maya raised a questioning eyebrow at Sam. Really? I feel like we barely entered into the forest. Grinning at Maya's reaction, Sam said, Today is the first time that we didn't complete an entire day of travel. And the pace that we're going at when walking is similar to how fast we traveled. Really? Kate said in disbelief, sharing Maya's thoughts about their progress. Sam is right. We were going at a similar pace when we were making our way through the forest. Mim nodded. He turned his head to look back at where Celine was resting. Before Raul joined the others in the watch, he had let us know that he feels that his sister should be recovered enough to join us. Maya looked to where Celine was resting before directing her attention to Mim. I think that our situation may have been enough to push Celine too far. Mim answered the look in Maya's eyes. But I think rest is mainly what she needs. And being an elf, I wouldn't be surprised if she were to wake up soon from the smell. Being around nature will also likely help her out, Sam said. I suspect she's just sensitive towards whatever is out there since it's not natural. Before either Maya or Kate could ask, Sam answered, The fact that we got this request and how dire the consequences are, whatever is causing this isn't natural. I agree, Mim said. This entire thing isn't like what we've dealt with, and we've been adventurers for quite some time. With how the animals and monsters are behaving, on top of the strange feeling of this place, I suspect that something is the source.